and welcome back to Stone Soup.
The world according to Sci-Fi Geeks.
I'm Sue Rhiannon.
I'm still Sandy.
Today-
Just a word about our decor. You may notice things have changed behind us. We're set up for the holidays, and we had to bring this in. This is a whole kitchen in a box that my wonderful, brilliant husband created. And so we had to move the microwaves over behind us to make room for the extra kitchen. The subject for today is Predators. The new one with Adrian Brody,
Yes.
who is like totally awesome and awesomely total. Yeah. Whatever that means.
Well, we should start by, before you're going, wait, two women are reviewing Predators? Yes.
Yeah.
We love the original Predator. We enjoy the second one. It's not quite as good as the first, but most sequels aren't.
We've seen Predators versus Aliens. That was kind of cool, too,
Yes.
although I could have written a better movie myself.
But the Predators versus Aliens comics that came out in the 90s had a much better story.
Yeah.
But so when this came out, we're like, oh, cool, we got to go check that out. We didn't get
Especially
to check it
with Adrian Brody, because, wow, Adrian Brody is like totally awesome. And so I wanted to see it.
out. Well, we didn't get to see it in theaters, but we finally picked it up this last week on DVD.
And watched it yesterday.
Yes. So it's nice and fresh in our minds. Yeah.
And Adrian Brody is awesome. But the movie could have used...
Help me.
It could have used a little better writing.
Here and there.
And you know, notice how on the cover you've got Lawrence Fishburne and Adrian Brody and the girl. It doesn't matter who she is. She's the only female in the cast anyway. What's this guy's name? The big guy? This
sure.
big Mexican guy whose name escapes me. God, I apologize to him.
Yes.
But anyway, Lawrence's part really isn't that big. It's
He was
kind
in
of
it for like,
surprised
what,
us. We
10,
thought
15 minutes?
at most.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw him in the trailer and stuff. We
We
figured
thought,
he'd be there for way more movie than he was.
yeah.
Now,
that
for those of you who
totally
haven't
surprised us.
seen
As a
it,
matter of fact, you know what? I don't think we ever saw him with a great big gun in his hand.
I forget.
But
I don't
anyway,
think so. But for those of you who haven't seen it, a brief, basic plot here is the Predators, apparently they don't just hunt us on our planet. Now and then they decide, let's just really screw with them. They'll snatch up people and dump them, literally, in the middle of the air over one of their own planets.
apparently it's like a hunting resort planet. They bring in the prey, and after the prey's on their feet and moving, why, they can hunt them. Now the problem is they drop them unconscious out of their ships. You drop through the atmosphere, and if you're lucky enough to wake up in time
You can hit your parachute.
to activate your parachute and hit the ground, and of course, if you wake up with enough cognizance to realize, oh my, I'm falling through the air. I am wearing a parachute. Oh yes, I need to hit this right here, and that will activate it. I myself would be a gibbering idiot in about the first 3 seconds. I'm an acrophobe. I would never even think of hitting something in the middle of my chest to activate it. I wouldn't know what it was. To me, a parachute is something you pull.
Yeah.
But anyway, maybe this is in the future. And
Something,
it's a
I
new
don't
type of parachute, and he knew he was in a parachute. But
That tends to be
Oh,
the thing is the release for the harness.
Ooh. You just pointed out that with most human parachutes, hitting the thing in the middle releases you from the harness.
that means you drop out of your parachute. This is not what you want to do.
Ooh.
They had one character, if you could call it a character, all y'all saw was one bloody arm, I think,
Well, it's part of a body.
who didn't wake up in time.
And he hit the
ground. And since you're being dropped out of a freaking spaceship,
Way high in the atmosphere.
Yeah, way
That's
high
not
in
a
the
fall You're going to
atmosphere.
survive. It was
Yeah.
ugly.
but they start out as these kinds of movies often do with 7 or 8 people.
8.
And of course, they begin whittling them down. Well, you have to have some people die.
After all, it's predators.
It's
That's
predators.
the point.
But somehow, it needs to be a little less formula, if you ask me. There's got to be a better way to do it than the way they do it.
Yeah. But, and also, 8 people. Let's see. There was one woman. Well, technically there were 2 black people once Lawrence Fishburne entered about, 2/3 of the way through the movie. But at the beginning,
that.
there's one woman, 1 black man, 1 Asian man, and 1 Hispanic man.
And the rest of the people were white males.
Yes, granted, one of them was Russian, so it's not like it was an American white male.
But he's still a white male.
Yeah. And wouldn't you know it, the first 2 people to die are the Hispanic man and the black guy. And after that, the Japanese guy, I think, is the next one to fall. Oh, well, I could be wrong.
Well, and Lawrence Fishburne, didn't he buy it too?
Yes, he got.
So basically, both the black men buy it, and the Hispanic man, and then the Asian guy. Now the Asian guy dies bravely and gallantly and all that
He
good
manages to
stuff.
take one of the predators down
Yeah,
with him.
him. Amazingly.
Yes.
Because he actually took him on in hand-to-hand combat.
With a katana.
Well, with a katana. And won.
Lucky
But-
for him, the predator decided, oh, look, this is kind of cool, and he was using his wrist blade instead of his shoulder cannon.
Yeah, they all think they're freaking Chuck Norris, even the aliens. But, yeah, there's just something about this dichotomy that Hollywood does it all the time. Oh, look, we're not racist. We have people of every color. Yeah. And only the white people ever survive, and only actually the woman's Hispanic too, but she's very, very pale. She's a white Hispanic. But anyway, the leads are always white somehow.
Yeah.
As
They're always doing
if
this
some,
today.
well, not always. There are,
Well, no.
Because if you got Will Smith, people don't care what color he is because he's too cool for words. But and I agree with that. Will Smith he could star in all the movies ever made, and that would be fine with me.
Might be a little weird in Little Women.
Okay, a bit odd, but he could play Joe, the tomboy. The 6'2" Joe. Yeah, okay, maybe not. But as it may.
Anywho, now,
We did actually enjoy this movie quite a
Yes.
bit. But like I said, it's a little formula.
now, I did find it fascinating the new addition of the predators having their equivalent of hunting dogs.
Yeah, that one took us a minute, then we realized what had happened. And
well, basically these
I called it. I said,
Yeah.
they're hunting dogs.
They're basically these creatures.
Because they don't look like dogs.
No, but I mean they are on all fours. But apart from that, they look more like porcupines from hell. And they're bigger than a man.
Porcupines.
And they think
And they look like
charging-
what would happen if you crossed a porcupine and a warthog.
Yeah,
And a
yeah,
wild
that sounds
boar.
like pretty good.
And they are ugly. But that's okay.
Basically, these things are charging through the jungle. They're mowing to the humans. The humans manage to kill some of them, and suddenly there's this sound, a whistle, a horn, and the creatures stop, turn, and run off. And that's when she went, "They're hunting dogs."
I'm smart. I know about dogs. You may have noticed floating around us sometimes there are these black furry critters.
Not that we use them for hunting much.
They are hunting dogs, though. That's what they were
yes,
bred for.
technically.
But we don't use them for that because we don't hunt.
Yes, they hunt wild boar, in fact, but that's not the point.
I said that.
But yeah, that was indeed an interesting addition to the situation.
Yes, but then again, we were now on their planet, and they could, like, do things they really can't do sneaking into our planet. You bring your
Yes.
hunting dogs with you, you better keep them close to you.
yeah, especially those hunting dogs.
Yeah.
But,
But,
it's classic hunters send the dog in to flush out the prey. Usually done with things like ducks and quail.
Also, this whole scenario has kind of built into it the fact that even if the humans win, they can't go home. Mm-hmm. They don't even know
They're
what the ship looks like, let alone how to fly it.
Mm-hmm. They do try and take the ship; it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
It was not quite clear as to why it is the ship took off when apparently there's no one human or predator inside it. But it started to go up.
Maybe there was a predator in it, just because he wasn't out hunting doesn't mean there wasn't a pilot in there.
That's true.
But
but
bunch of guys.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yes. Okay, spoiler alert.
But the thing is, if there was just another predator pilot in there, why didn't the lead predator contact him before he went, "Oh, the little apes are stealing our ship. Yeah, too bad. Beep, blow up ship." You got something to self-destruct.
I don't know. But I mean, the first Predator movie, which is just brilliant. The first time, this is a very old movie, so I'm not going to worry about spoilers.
Yes, if
the
you haven't
first
seen
time
it
you
yet,
see the
that's your problem.
carcasses up in the tree, sitting in the theater with my husband. The kids were way too small to see this movie at that time. My jaw just kind of dropped, and I said, "It's a deer hunt." And we're the deer.
Yeah.
And that's what's brilliant about that movie is when you finally understand what's going on, you're like, oh, my freaking God.
They don't want to conquer. They don't care about that.
Yeah, they're just hunting.
Apparently, they just somewhere along the line decided that prey that can shoot back is just so much more interesting.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're eating our flesh or not. I think
We know
are.
they skin it. They skin us.
True.
Well-
That probably are. I mean, if they weren't going to eat us, why
And they,
bother?
and they like to take trophies.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? If you can have a deer head on your wall, why can't
Yeah.
they have something? Just because it freaks us out, well, what do they care?
Yeah.
How do you think
Would we care if the deer were freaked out?
Oh my God, Uncle Joe!
Yeah. Bambi! You are so sick.
You said it.
I know. But,
But
It's actually it's a pretty good movie. It's not
Yes.
nearly as good as the first one. They never are. I don't know why.
Again, they
Oh, one thing I would like would be to see a few more people survive.
Yes.
You know, these movies where you start out with the monster and they start whittling down the group. Well, you kind of expect that, but do you always have to whittle it down to only 2 people or 1 person?
One of the things we like about Tremors is that there's always a small group that survives.
Yeah. The first Tremors movie, I think 8 or 9 people survive. And that is like
yeah.
way cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, at least 8.
At least 8. So, you know, there's just no reason to kill off everybody.
Of course, when you start with a group of 8, you need to get down at least half of them. But the fact remains.
Also, I didn't think there was quite enough character, not development, exposition. They didn't tell us who these people were.
Yes.
Exactly. We never did find out much about Adrian Brody's character.
No.
We know they're all soldiers of some, well, not all of them, but most of them are soldiers of some kind.
Yes.
Soldiers of fortune, soldiers, tough guys, people who can and will shoot back,
Yes.
which, you know, reasonably limited the number of women they would find to be there.
I mean, there's plenty of female soldiers out there, don't get us wrong. But they're
But you
looking for
needed-
the baddest of the badasses.
Yeah, and you do need to understand how the aliens found them.
Yes, that would have been nice.
Because one of them, the doctor, you never quite understand, even at the end, how did they find him?
I mean, the rest of these guys, they could have just been watching the combat zone and went, that one.
Yeah.
Like picking a lobster at a restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking of, you know, like you're sitting up in your ship and you're watching this fight and it's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. And you're like, oh, I want the big guy. He's going to be a blast. Suck.
Oh, yeah. There's one other thing
I
with
mean,
this movie.
here were these people, the toughest people on the planet, right? They were abducted by aliens in a bright flash of white light. And then they were dropped on another planet. Which they realized only after they
Managed to get into a
managed to
clearing
get
so they
out
could
of the
see
forest,
sky.
get to a clearing and look up at the sky, and they're like, "Oh, sweet mother of God, this
There's
is."
a gas giant, a couple of other moons. We're
like-
not in Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
Oh, we're not anywhere near Kansas.
There's one other thing with this movie, especially in like the first 30, 40 minutes, a way overuse of, please pardon my language, the word fuck. Now, people swear when they're stressed. I understand. I fully agree with this. I swear myself, usually in my head, because when I swear out loud, people look at me funny. But the thing is, does it always have to be the F-bomb? There's lots of other swear words out there. We got like 4 people at least, from different countries. Shouldn't they be swearing in their own languages?
I mean, seriously.
Is fuck that universal? I don't think it is. It has
And when you're that overwrought, you're gonna, you know,
Go in your own
fall back
language.
to your own language, not some second language.
Frankly, it feels like laziness on the writer's part. I've seen this
It
in
is.
some other movies.
Yeah.
Like Blair Witch. I mean, there was no writing there. But
Yeah,
other
Blair
movies-
Witch, they didn't have a script.
It doesn't
But-
make you sound more badass, having F after every other word. It just makes a writer look like he doesn't know enough adjectives. Come on, please, a little imagination.
Expletives, not
Expletives,
adjectives. Yes.
right, thank
Doesn't know enough expletives, yes. Get yourself a thesaurus, man. Learn some more words.
Yes. Like I said,
That's
especially if you have
there's fuck, screw. There's lots of them.
especially if you have characters who are from other countries, if they're going to be swearing, they should be swearing in their
Their own
tongues.
language. Yes. That would have been really interesting. Mind-boggling, and we could have picked up some extra words if we could,
Yeah.
have memorized them. Oh yes, we watched it at home. We had the closed captioning on. Write that one down. We got to use that one next time.
Exactly.
But so get a little creativity in that. But we can guardedly recommend this one because it's a lot of fun, and Adrian Brody is awesome. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Are they still there? My face is getting tired. Bye bye.